cutting us off. We talking about money now. We talking about personal money. Now.
Oh, okay, well,
You can't be
what we gonna
cutting us
talk?
off now.
Oh, my goodness.
Can't be doing that.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call this special call meeting for the purpose of conducting a public hearing for our fiscal year 24 budget. And at this time, I will turn the floor over to Manager Van Norbeck, and if you would like to give the council a brief summary and the public. After such time, we'll have a public hearing.
That's correct. So you guys know we have advertised last week in the newspaper. Today is the scheduled date for the public hearing for a $22,566,255 budget. And of that portion, $11,187,077 is in the general fund. And you can see with the additional funds that we have below that, weatherization, cemetery, fire programs, airport, bus transit, Taylor Bottom Project Fund, Medical Center Fund, and then the two biggies, which are the Electric Utilities Fund and the Water and Sewer Utilities Fund. And those are two big ones. Electric Utilities Fund is advertised at a balanced budget or balanced fund budget of $5,970,709 in the electric, and in water and sewer, $3,650,000 and $262. Excuse me. Hit the highlights as far as revenues. Personal property tax remains unchanged at 72 cents at a 60% relief. I think the county has dropped down into the 45% range. We retained the 60 and the 72. We dropped last year from 85 to 72 to equalize the higher values, and we are not proposing to change that this year. Meals tax rate remains at 6.5%. Lodging tax also is the same, no change. Real estate taxes, I'll let you guys know that they remain the same at 22 cents per $100 of valuation. There is a new, and I think the county's doing an assessment this year, and I think there may be some changes to that number, either to equalize or to adjust in the next year's budget. That'll be reflected with that new assessment. Okay. Water and sewer rates are increasing by 4% each, and that's primarily to pay for, exclusively to pay for, because we did receive that $567,000 grant to reimburse us for the aeration system at the reservoir. So that's exclusively to pay back the debt service on a 40-year 1.3% note with USDA for the East End project area, which is about $3.2 million. Base electric rates. We did break this stuff out, and there were some questions. And base electric rate is a 13% increase. That's the base. In addition to the base of 13%, we have that power cost adjustment, which includes true-ups. It includes things like SEPA, which is where we buy electricity from the Philpott Authority, I guess you call it, down at Bugs Island, and we buy portions of that. That is 8.8%, and that includes a true-up, primarily a true-up. And that true-up, as we explained last month when GDS and we handed those out, and we handed that information out, that'll reflect about 8.8%. The net effect to customers, and I told you guys don't hold me to it, and I asked Dan to sit down, and Jackie and I and Dan discussed it, the net effect to a customer purchasing 1,000 kilowatt hours is an increase, because of a dramatic decrease in fuel adjustment this year, a net increase of it's actually 6.8% instead of the 8.6%. 3.68%. It's on that highlight sheet. Okay. The stuff that's, I guess, capital related, and I'll read very quickly, Parks and Rec activities, and I think council added this last discussion. There's $25,000, using $25,000 of cash on hand. There's a ladder truck. Its total expenditure is $1,840,000. Of that amount, $1,050,000 is grant money. $520,000 is debt service. The town will be borrowing $520,000. There's $270,000 of cash, $200,000 of which came from the county, and $70,000 which was last year's apparatus money from the county. Okay. The reason we don't want to reduce the loan amount is because USDA doesn't reduce the loan amount first. They'll reduce your grant first before they'll reduce your loan, okay? But we can prepay at any time, okay? So as we get additional checks from the county for apparatus, we can apply that towards the fire truck if you choose to, or pay off the previous one, depending on the interest rate. And I would say focus on the one with the higher interest rates. But we do have one other debt issue with USDA for a engine that we bought 2 or 3 years ago, okay? Armory, $3,885,000. That includes $2.2 million of ARPA funds that we have on hand. It includes $1 million of DHCD industrial revitalization funds and $581,000 of tobacco commission money. There are 3 three PD cars included in the budget. And if you remember, the police department received $153,000 in ARPA funds, and I think the paperwork is in and it's been approved and that sort of thing, so we expect to receive that. But that would buy 3 PD cars, 2 of which I assume would either replace or be given to 2 new police officers that are also in the budget. Okay? Bucket truck?
Those are not, are we allowed to speak?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there you
Those
go.
are not through the grant?
Those 2 police positions?
No, the cars.
Yeah, all 3 cars that are paid for with grant.
Okay.
Bucket truck, $215,000 that has been ordered. We expect it to come this fiscal year. I don't know if it will. I hope it does, but we will have $215,000 cash, and we won't have to borrow any money. We've been setting money aside over the course of a couple of years, and we still have some to put aside still by the end of this fiscal year. Personal property ditches, those are 2 ditches, one on Northwest Avenue and one at the Arms property on Dillard Street. We have $96,000 included. If we jump to the water department, this is probably the largest capital activity in the water and sewer and electric department, and there's $120,000, and that is to assist with our THMs, and it's an aeration system going in one of our tanks. Okay. The budget also reflects a 3% COLA increase to employees making over $35,000, a 4% COLA, which is cost of living increase to all employees under $35,000. Again, there are 2 new police positions, and we're taking one of the, and in addition, and I may be rehashing stuff you guys already know, but there's a $2.75 salary adjustment for 1 police officer to take on the animal control duties. And that is included in the budget.
Excuse me. That 4% for all employees under, does that include part-time?
No,
Part-time gets 3%, right?
I think it's, unless y'all decide to do something different, but that's the way it's set up right now.
Chairman Nash, does you or your committee have anything to add? And before you do, I would like to thank y'all for your efforts. I served on the Finance Committee for 4 years as a council member, and I know it's tedious and takes a lot of work to get to this point. That, along with our able town manager, thank you so much for your efforts. Do you have any comments?
We're good. Obviously, the staff is the one that produced most of it, so.
Yeah, ladies did a good job. Jackie's first, and next one she'll be more seasoned and more seasoned and more seasoned, and this thing will be second nature to Jackie shortly. So, yes, sir.
You know that sheet that we had last night?
The what?
I guess we'd have to do it in closed session. That sheet that we had last
That'll
night.
be Monday night. About any adjustments on salaries and things?
Right.
Right, that'll be Monday night.
Okay.
Members of council, do y'all have any questions for Chairman Nash or for the manager? You ready for a public hearing?
Ready for public hearing?
All right, at this time, I'll open a public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to come before council and speak for or against the proposed budget? Seeing or hearing none, I will close the public, sheesh, man, I'm having a Philip moment, the public hearing. So the public hearing is closed. Is there any other comments or any other business to come before council?
I'm here to answer any questions if you have anything in addition. I would describe this year as a project of limited new initiatives. We're just really trying to finish up stuff that's been on the books, bucket trucks and fire trucks and armories, and there's a lot of stuff to clean up. And so we'll be cleaning up a bunch of stuff this year, and hopefully we'll get PD cars delivered. Hopefully we'll get pickup trucks delivered. Hopefully we'll get things delivered. I would dare say you'll probably see an appreciable number of appropriations during the course of the year, because we have 3 pickup trucks ordered right now that we're not in the budget, the upcoming budget. They're in the current budget, but we ain't gonna get them before July 1st, I don't think. So we'll have to, when they get here, then we'll have to appropriate those. And just another good year. We have some big initiatives coming up. We're looking at the Dillard Crawley property, and I'm not sure what that holds for us, but we'll continue to press forward and trying to find grant monies and things. One thing I do want to let you guys know, and I talked to the mayor briefly about it, is in July. I'll be on vacation from the, I don't know, 10th to or the week of the 10th. But I do want you guys to seriously work on a date where we can have that workshop to go over all these big numbers that Wes mentioned one night. There's some daunting figures. And if you read the paper today about Nottaway County turning down Prince Edward County's request to run that water line, I don't know if that's the end of it. But I can tell you, in the event where the crew does decide they want to come to the town of Blackstone and purchase 1 million gallons of water a day or 500,000 gallons of water a day, there's a significant amount of capital improvements that need to take place, and a significant enough amount that it would almost double your current debt load. From roughly 10 million, you'd go to almost $30 million in debt, okay? Now,
But don't be scared by that. That's also gonna be funded by.
there should be an appreciable amount of revenue. Not all of it, because we got to pay our share of those improvements. But those improvements that are specific only to the town of Crew, or, you know, upsizing lines, and that would be 100% paid for by the rate structure that we have. But I think it's important that we get there. I didn't want to do it during the budget, but I would like in the month of July to sit down and have that workshop, because we got some big numbers,
Well,
numbers.
Let me ask you this, our regularly scheduled council meeting will be on the 17th. The following Wednesday is the 26th. Would that,
Fine with me, I'll
that
be
be a
ready.
good time? We can just continue that meeting?
I'll be out of town.
You
You
know,
will?
the last time we had the last council, what we did, we had a retreat.
If you want to do it on a Saturday, I'm fine
And
with
what
that.
we did, we went to the Civic League, and I think it lasted about 5 hours, and we all got together and powwow.
Well, we had sort of talked about maybe,
After the budget, you had said something about maybe all going out to eat or
Yeah.
something, or
Yeah.
having some kind of an,
no, that
Event with
was,
the
I
council.
think that was my idea.
Having a potluck or something like that, I did mention
No,
that.
I was talking about going to a restaurant and having.
But that retreat worked out good, because they brought lunch and everything, and I mean, we really got a lot done.
I think that the citizens of Blackstone are going to see some big numbers flashing across the screen here.
It would be,
Raw water lines and intakes at the reservoir and things. Taylor's Bottom, and that's a big number too. Now.
as a citizen, I think it would be great if the items that are even partially funded by grant money are identified, or, so you can look at it and say, oh, well, that's gonna have this much grant money, that's gonna have this much grant money. But along with that, I have a question about like the projects we're talking about. Is the budget the only place that they are tracked? Is there like a project management file somewhere that you keep track of where we are on each one?
Yeah. And if we have an engineer, they're responsible to maintain the majority of that file, because they actually go over the quantities and the amounts.
But they work for us, so
They
I
work
guess
for
we manage to keep up
And
with
an
what they do.
architect like at the Armory, he'll manage
Yeah.
that. That's part of contract administration. Now, smaller stuff like paving,
Yeah.
I do it myself. You know, we get load tickets and we compare them back, and then we multiply them by the per ton
I was
price.
just thinking, like, all the things that you were referring to this year being a big project year, a lot of things going on, it would be good if we had a good go-to
Could we do the week of
dashboard
the
for
17th?
each.
The bigger
each one.
projects, so you know, if B and
We're
B.
gonna talk about it.
For the most part, some of the drainage stuff, you know, curb and gutter and things like that, I can handle, but when we get into appreciable projects, for example, I don't know that much about aeration systems and water tanks. So I'll ask Randy to help with the inspection portion of it in addition to make sure it's done to specification. I can tell you curb and gutter is the specification, but not so much on aeration.
Let me ask you this, I'm gonna be out of town on August 2nd through 17th.
Mhm.
My annual trek to the Atlantic Ocean. And Mr. Page, you're not gonna be in town that week on 24th?
The 24th, that week I'll be out of town.
Coming back off of, a council meeting on the 17th, is the 19th too early?
19th of July?
Yeah, that gonna be too early for you? You'd be gone the week before, then you got a council meeting when you come
On the
back.
17th?
Yeah,
Give me a little more time. Let's do August. So I got it right.
looks like we're gonna be in August then.
And it's a quick meeting since we're meeting the fourth Monday of June. It's a quick meeting in July, it's only 3 weeks between, so, anything after that might work better for them.
I would like to recommend, Councilman Miller. Surges would work better for me if we're gonna be here for an extensive time.
Okay.
If we're coming in here cut and dry 30 minutes or hour, but if we're gonna be sitting here for 5 hours, when I get off from work, you're gonna lose my attention. So surgery would be better so everybody can be fresh and we don't have to be rushed and we can eat, cause it's gonna be a long
What is
day.
this meeting about? What are we talking about having?
The budget and the numbers.
Budget, numbers, and then we talked about goals too. Cause everything is not in concrete on this, well, it's in concrete too, but I'm still saying, we still have some stuff that we can
You start
discuss.
talking about next
You
year's
was at the
budget.
last one, right?
This one will be wrapped up by that time. You'll have
It was
adopted
about
it.
6 hours.
But
I could do some Saturdays during the day, but night I normally work. So.
Well, we have the
Yes.
22nd and the 29th. Well, what I would ask going forward is if you'll poll the council by email and get some Saturdays. Does everybody agree to Saturday? I agree with Ms. Williams 100%. Y'all wanna put a Saturday aside and we'll, I'd like to do it under the camera, but I doubt we're gonna be able to do that just because of logistics, but maybe we can use.
it'll be a public meeting or do
Yeah,
the police department. or
Right,
whatever,
maybe do the police department conference room or either rent a facility and have someone bring us meals and refreshments.
That's what we did the last time.
is
That
that what
way the
y'all-
public wasn't nowhere around.
Right, but they would, it'd be open to the public, but, is that, what do y'all think down there? Saturday?
Pursuits, yeah.
And I don't know if it's 6 hours. I don't know if there's 6 hours
No,
of
no,
information
Lord,
to
no.
hand out, but
No,
certainly a couple hours, you could fill it up pretty quickly with discussions about crew, water lines to crew. Jake knows them pretty well. I know him pretty well. The mayor, to a degree, probably knows those numbers, but the rest of you probably don't know them as well. And we probably need to really get this stuff in front of you and tell you why certain things have to happen in order to effectuate that project if it moves forward.
you thinking like 10 to 2 and have lunch brought in?
Cool. Yeah, you don't have to kill yourself getting there in the morning and do your thing.
Sound good? Everybody like that? How about y'all, 10 to 2, y'all look at the 20, you'll have a week after you're back on the 22nd. Is that, you think that's enough time for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I'll put it out there and what you want, and we'll have another one if we need to extend.
22nd or 29th, the 29th would be the preferred day. Can y'all check the 29th out and let the clerk know?
29th of July.
Yes,
I
sir.
know
Yeah,
the
very good.
22nd is
You
going to
fine?
be iffy for me because I too will be on vacation from the 14th to the 21st. So it looks like I may even miss that 17th meeting. And it's already paid for.
You're
So
gonna be on all kind of committees and you.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna fix you
Secretary,
right
recording
up.
secretary.
Okay, so
we'll
it's
see
29th.
each other after the
29th,
meeting.
let's shoot for the
We're
29th.
saying July 29th.
Yeah, that are you, Mr. Alman?
I can't do the 29th.
I need to confirm my calendar.
Yeah.
During the day, you
I
can't
need
do
to
it.
confirm mine.
I got a
Right.
wedding that
You
starts at
send
3.
out a memo to council, please, and ask about the 29th. Anything else, Mr. Van Orbeck?
Do you have any questions?
Council, do y'all have anything else?
Oh, that'll be it.
All right, I'm gonna adjourn this meeting,
I can do the next
at
Saturday.
7:23. That's a quick one for y'all now.